Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, hi. Hello.
Oh, hi. Good to see you there. Welcome to Saturday Morning Comics. Oh, Scott Evans just said a glorious piece of information, and I am right there with you, buddy. I am more of a pie guy as well.
Yeah, it's true.
I eat a lot of it. And when my wife is making that for Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthday for me, I am a pie guy.
Allergic coconut? LOL.
I just mentioned in the chat that the chat was having a great discussion of cake, favorite cakes and desserts, and I'm allergic to chocolate. It's not a thing where I'm gonna like go into anaphylaxis or something. I just I sneeze, I get the runny nose and eyes, hay fever kind of stuff. And there is the short box shark. Simon is in the chat. If you haven't checked out his podcast, Short Box Sharks, you're gonna miss out on some great content. He's interviewed Bueller. He's interviewed, I think, Reggie. He's interviewed me, which that was the misstep in the series. But he's dropping a new podcast, I believe, today. So you can check out that and enjoy that. Yeah, good. Yeah. So definitely check in with Simon if you have not done so yet. So yes, I don't eat chocolate. I didn't know I was allergic when I was younger, so I ate it and just had attacks that I didn't know were related to anything. It seems like an allergy worth suffering through. There are times when I'm looking at a dessert and thinking, let's just roll the dice, baby. But usually I go cheesecake, carrot cake if I have to, but I'm not a dessert guy anyways. My students know as little teacher gifts, chocolate doesn't work, but chips and salsa, that's where it's at. I am a salty, savory kind of guy. That's my jam. Are you noticing all the Kanto love here, Kirk? And we used Kanto as our thumbnail for today because Charlie is going to review issues 5 and 6 on the show today. And we got issue 5, which was the only one we were missing. We got it from Spidey Fan, and he sent us a little AOK because he knew I was looking for that issue to fill the run so we could read the whole thing. If you don't know, the trade for Kanto, if you haven't read it, the 6-issue trade is coming in March. So you can get that through your LCS or online if you want to. It's a really great read. And I've been talking with Craig Boer, the writer of Kanto, because when that trade gets a little closer to dropping, I think we're going to arrange a chance to have him come on the live stream here and give us a little interview. So hopefully Craig his schedule works really well with ours, hopefully in March when that comes around. But we've really enjoyed it. I've read the first 4. Charlie read all 6. She's the only one, I think, that's read all 6. What?
They're good.
They are good.
Discovery Bay just jumped
Discovery Bay jumped in. We're going to run in through and jump the chat. You want me to go through and do that real quick?
I want to do it too.
All right. So you want to shout them out as we go?
Sure. We have Comics on the Mind. We have Kachung. I Got Issues. Life of 2 YouTubers. John's Comics with Kids. Oh, get out of here.
I just wanted to see if you'd read it.
Scott Evans.
Hello, Scott. How you doing?
Discovery Bay. Simon Gale. Fire Guy Ryan.
There's Fire Guy. Let's see. Yeah, I said hello to
Backseat Driver.
Yeah.
Stay Puff. DK Comics and Cosplay.
Who's that?
Delphia and Kachung.
Delphia and Kachung, right? Definitely.
DK.
Who's that?
Aggressively Relaxing.
And?
Superpower Review.
And?
Tacoma Comics.
Good morning, everybody. And I just boxed up a bunch of stuff for some of these people because I'm finally sending out my prize winnings today. I'm mailing them today.
OF.
Yes, Big O is in the chat. So I'm finally sending stuff out. I got Tacoma's got something coming, and JP, and Jim Boatwright, and Old Wolf.
Gore Vital.
Gore Vidal is in the chat. Hello. So I'm finally sending stuff out. Is that a poster of China? You bet it is, Gore. That's been, you know what it is? I think people who found my channel this holiday season, I was in a different part of my house because the Christmas tree is where I usually do my shows. And so now I'll be back over there. You're going to see a lot more of that Chinatown poster in the future. It spends a lot of time in my videos. So yes, my wife and I have a love of classic posters, the hand drawn or painted style, and so she framed that one for me. And then we have one for the movie with Terrence Stamp called The Limey, because it has a similar style with the smoke and the LA sort of scenery. And we have that one framed as well. It just doesn't have a home right now. It's in a closet somewhere.
The Chinatown poster was when
No, he did not win anything.
I knew.
He said it was when I knew it was worth paying attention to. He knew it was a good taste. Giant Chinatown poster in my living room. So good morning, everybody. I'm wearing an Isle of the Dark t-shirt. If you have the time, you don't need to do much more than just go to www.isleofthedark.com. Read the synopsis, because one of our young community members has written a book, everybody, and she's publishing it. And you could support her just by reading the synopsis and then maybe buying the book if you have that interest.
Who did that?
So I have already purchased mine, and I will do a review, and I'll have her on, and we'll do an interview. Rena, one of the two YouTubers for Life with Two YouTubers. Good morning to Trinity's in the chat. Hello.
Second Street Marvel.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I got to say it, not you.
Chat.
Trinity at Second Street Marvel.
Oh.
So just a little request that you take the time, even if you just read it and maybe you decide the book's not for you, that's fine. But like, check it out. You might decide, you know what? Hey, it's worth the money to support a young writer coming up in the world. I think we don't have enough people doing that. So that's awesome. Who would like to go first today?
Me.
Charlie is ready to go.
I raised my hand.
And there's Pop Pop in the chat.
And we have Ralph Jameson.
Ooh, Charlie's going to review Supergirl. This
Number
is
3.
Trade Volume 3
Ghosts
from the
of
Puckett,
Krypton.
Johnson, and Randall run.
Ghosts
Yeah.
of Krypton.
Ghosts of Krypton.
We were trying to find a new book yesterday, but we found that.
Something you haven't read yet. Yeah, we've gone through a bunch of these trades. I want to say Kavi gave you the first volume.
Yeah.
Fire Guy Ryan gave you the second, and then we went and got the third. Something I can't remember. One of these came from Fire Guy.
Yeah.
Is it this one?
Yeah, it's that one. I
Nice.
think he gave us that.
So what do you think, Charlie?
It's good. It's kind of sad though, because she had promised this little boy who has brain cancer stage 4
Oh no.
that he wouldn't die.
Oh.
And she didn't know that he had brain cancer stage 4. So by the time the parents called her and she came to the hospital, and then they said, "Do you have something to tell our son?"
Ooh.
And she went up to them, and then Superman said, "I'll do it." And then he started talking, and she said, "Wait." And then she started acting like she was gonna say sorry and that he was actually gonna die. But then she said, "I'm not gonna let you die. I will not let you die." And then she tried to find a cure for cancer, but instead,
Is that why you wrote that as your thing in your classroom?
no, I didn't even know that was in here.
Oh, that's funny. I'll get to that in a second. You can keep going.
And she gets sucked into the future. And apparently these people are trying to kill Supergirl, and they don't know why. And then what happens is the guy tells her that Earth has evolved,
Ooh.
and that now people didn't think Supergirl, they're supposed to kill Supergirl because Supergirl changed the whole Earth
Oh, whoa.
and what she did.
So it's one of those bad future kind of things.
And then at the end, when she's leaving, the guy says, "Don't save the child," because he doesn't really explain why he says
the
that.
girl that's sick.
The
in
boy.
her
The
pa-
boy Thomas,
Oh, a boy.
yeah. And then
He's 8.
I think that the reason he would say "don't save the boy" is because when she saves the boy, it changes the world. She did.
Something bad
But
happens
then-
because of that.
Yeah, and then she found a cure for it, she thinks.
Mhm.
And then she's flying to the hospital, and Superman stops her and says, "You can't save him." And she says, "Why?" He says, because he's already dead.
Oh, that's too bad. Fire Guy Ryan talking about Animorphs again. I was telling Kate that they announced Animorph comic books coming in 2020.
It
So
is
just
2020.
be ready. Yeah, this year.
Okay.
Not like 2021 or way far out. It's coming this year. So something to look forward to. Awesome. So you enjoyed it, but sad parts is what you're saying. I was in Charlie's classroom because Charlie's in 3rd grade and I teach 3rd grade. And so her teacher and I, we meet a lot. And they had put up on the wall their, was it goals, I guess?
New Year resolutions.
New Year resolutions for 2020.
But technically goals.
And I was reading them over and it was like, ooh, this little boy wants to be better at writing and this little girl wants to be better at her multiplication. And I get to Charlie's and it says,
I want to find a cure for cancer. I want people to stop polluting, and I want to help children in the hospital.
Charlie's like a politician. She's got like big New Year's resolutions. She's not working on, oh, I have to learn to read better. She's like, no, these are my goals. We need to have higher benchmarks. So be ready. Charlie for 2020. So how did you like the art in this? Was it good? The drawings? The cover looks cool with like,
It is cool.
it's all shattered. There's like Wonder Woman down
because
here.
In the other books she gets like really played around with all these bad guys. I just want to play with her. The Great Legend Show.
The Great Legend is in the chat. We're coming at you live. Good for you, Charlie. Dream big, says JP. And it looks like it's got everybody. A little Robin, little Batman, little Aquaman, little Wonder Woman, little Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So nice. You got a little good list of guest stars. Do you want to go next or should I go next?
I have a random comment.
You have a random comment?
Yeah,
That would fit with our show really well.
Yeah, okay. But does anyone ever like wake up and get out of bed and like your limbs pop?
Mm-hmm. Little snaps and crackles and pops.
Dude, oh my gosh. I wake up in mornings and like it sounds like I'm eating Snap Crackle Pop cereal in there. It's like
Wait till you get older, sweetie. It just gets louder and there's
And
more
then-
of them.
and
And
then,
then
like-
you have to add noises with it, like.
and then like I'll stretch like this and you'll hear like a crack and people are like, what was that? And I was like, that was my limb.
Kids running around, babies crying. I've been there. Good to see you, Los. If you guys don't know Los, you're missing out on a great
Los.
channel. He's a funny, honest guy, and I really do appreciate having him around. He's been on book club. He's just an awesome dude. My knees pop all the time. Yeah, see, right? It's just life. That's part of life. It makes my students laugh. All right, Kate,
Okay.
you want to go next? Or you want me? Who's going?
I want to go. So, I recently had a late belated birthday party, and I got this book, Anne of Green Gables, not bagels.
Anne of Green Bagels.
I think
Nobody
it's
wants a
actually
green
thing.
bagel.
That's actually a thing. Anne
Yeah.
of Green Bagels.
That's funny. Okay.
So,
And this is a graphic novel
It's a
telling
graphic
of that story.
novel version. And I've never read it before, and it's interesting. Like my favorite part is so the lady that adopted her, they were expecting a boy,
Right,
but they got a girl
right.
named Anne. And then so she's new and her name's Anne Shirley. And so the lady who adopted her is missing her purple brooch that's like her
Brooch.
brooch that's her most prized possession.
Yeah, so she
And
blames
Anne's
Anne.
like, yeah, and Anne's like, I didn't do it. And then she goes up to her room, and then on Tuesday she says,
You're-
I'm ready to make my confession. And then she says what she did. And she
She-
says that she lost it in the pond.
oh no.
You've read this already.
Of course,
so-
it's a classic story. There's movies and TV series.
Yeah, Anne with an E's. And then the next day, the lady who adopted her puts on her shawl, and her brooch is on the shawl. Brooch
Oh.
is on the shawl. So Anne, she says, I found my brooch hanging on my shawl. What's this? What joke are you playing on me yesterday? And she says, you said you'd lock me up until I confessed. I had to go to that picnic, so I fashioned the best confession I could. I had to imagine it. So she faked it.
Yep. Super Russ 9000 is in the chat. Hello.
And then she eats ice cream for the first time, which is
The Great Legend says it's a great story. You have Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea comes next, then Island. Yeah,
yes.
they're all are great stories. And I want to say, are there graphic novels for all of them? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
That'd be
I've seen
kinda
that
cool.
one before. I haven't seen any other ones.
For those that don't know, The Great Legend is a librarian. He has great knowledge of books. He is just a fount of great knowledge. As if you didn't know that already, because
I
he is the
have a
Great Legend.
question.
But,
Mr. Garrel, good morning.
Daddy, of all the people in the chat,
Yeah.
who's the funniest?
Who's the funniest person in the chat? I don't know. How do you qualify that or quantify that? How do you pick something like that?
Let's just do it
How
this
about
way.
you? Are you the funniest person? There you go. That's the answer
No,
you
The
wanted. I
funniest
think.
person for me would be Blanche, my new friend.
Your new friend is the funniest
She
person you
is
know?
funny. Yeah, she went up to Coach Spencer when he was ringing the bell like this. Please don't ring it, please.
Ryan says me. Tacoma Comics. Ian says me. So it seems like everybody's saying that they're the funniest ones.
Ah, Charlie.
Sharon is waving at us saying me. JP says me. The Great Legend just lists everybody. See, selfless. He didn't say me. He said all of you guys. See, that's called love for the community right there. That's love. That's love for the community.
But-
He went selfless first.
So,
Is it my turn?
job.
Oh, you want to keep talking about Anne of Green Gables? Okay.
So-
okay. We were halfway through our show almost, and
fine,
we've only got
go
one
ahead.
book. Give me one more thing you want to say.
No.
No.
Well, Anne tries to prove that she has great balance by running across the thingy on top of the house that is that long
The
thing?
roof.
The roof, basically, but it's like the rain pipe. I don't know how to say it.
Okay. The gutter or the drain.
No, it's like the top of the house.
Oh, the
How-
weather vane,
Yeah,
the thing that
that's
spins.
maybe. But she runs across it to prove that she has better balance than this girl.
Okay.
It's just one. So the
And?
roof's ridge pole.
Okay.
So that.
Yeah, the top of the roof.
Yeah.
The ridge line. Okay.
And so she does it and she falls and then she's totally happy about herself and she's like, oh, it's fine. I only sprained my ankle. I could have broken something like my neck. And she's like, Maria, the lady who adopted her, is like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the back and forth of that story is a lot of Anne versus her adopted family, the challenges in that for sure. Good morning to Rod, who was up late last night. I made a little meme of Rod this morning. Hopefully he found it funny.
I want to see it.
Let's see here. I'm going to start with something that I really liked. So I thank you to some friends who helped me get, including especially Comic Geek McD, who helped me get this comic book, Spider-Man Life Story. The 70s was the one I was missing. I had kind of gone and purchased a bunch and found a bunch. So I am rereading the whole story since I didn't have the 70s. I had only read certain pieces. And I'm reading it in order, the way it was meant to be read. And I got to tell you, it's possible I would want to go back to the Alec show that we did looking at the year and call this the best read. I'm only 3 issues in. I've done the 60s, 70s, and I forgot how good the 80s was. I love the Secret Wars and the way they weave in all the Kraven the Hunter stuff.
Daddy, did you need to show that?
It is just amazing. So if you get the chance to read Life Story, Spider-Man Life Story, I know it plays loose and fast with sort of alternate Spidey realities, but she would like to look at the Anne of Green Gables book. But, obviously we're living in the world of many multiple Spidey verses, and ooh, that's an upset face.
Depression.
What? Some very, unusual Spider verses. And so as a result, I think, if you're willing to just sort of accept it as an alternative to the Spider-Man story, it's a nice consolidation of all that I love from the history of Spider-Man. And so I'm excited to dive into the 90s and the 2000s and 2010s. So that is an amazing, amazing read. They're so great. Super Russ, absolutely amazing. DC and Marvel Geek, hello, good morning. From South Carolina, is that where we're at? Nice to see you in the chat. And I just bought a book from North Carolina. That's this one. This came from North Carolina twice. It went from North Carolina to Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. to North Carolina to Los Angeles and then to me.
How?
That was the journey it went on. Depression and the creaky knees. It sounds like Fire Guy Ryan's show. There you go. Good morning to Patrick Kelly. Good morning. Or I guess, what do they call? Are they calling you Roadhouse now? I think they call Patrick Kelly Roadhouse on the Discovery Bay auction shows.
We're
So
guys talking about that.
good morning to you, Roadhouse. Patrick Swayze Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Charlie, what is your second book? You want to do some Canto now? We ready? Canto? Got to be.
Next book is Lumberjanes.
Ooh, no.
Can't say.
You tricked us all, you trickster. So you read issues 5 and 6 of Canto. Good morning, Borinquen Comics. Buenos
That's
dias.
my job.
You say buenos dias?
Buenos dias.
He's in Puerto Rico.
Bienvenido.
Hola.
Bienvenidos. Good job. Ooh, good Spanish from Charlie. All right. You can do it too, I'm sure. You'd say, ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien,
Muy bien,
gracias.
gracias,
Y
usted.
usted.
Stop it.
Latinas. All right. Oh, good morning. Ooh, the Comic Core rolling in here. I got Mastodon. Good to see you, Donnie. How you doing? Yes, I am the old guy. And Chad from the Comic Core. Good show last night, Chad. Keeping it on the rails is challenging with that group, but you guys were funny. Sorry. What did you think of the ending of the first 6 issues here of Canto?
Boo.
Why?
Too sad.
It was sad. There's some sad parts. Yeah.
Yes.
Are you excited to know that there's more in the story coming?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this cover, the 6th one with the heart and the
Yeah, but
watch.
he doesn't.
Don't give it away. Don't spoil it. You think it's got a sad ending and that's what ruins it a little bit for you? Well, what is this beast?
That's the
Look at all the
beast I
animals.
talked about on Tiny Big Man.
Oh yeah.
Right. This is the big, but then there's this thing up here.
That's Zexia.
There's like there's an owl thing. What is that thing?
Zexia.
Okay. And then there's the warrior lady.
Warrior elf.
And then there's the beast that he rides on.
Mm-hmm.
What's that
Yeah.
called? It looks like a
So there's,
G.
it's hard to see, but there's actually like, so there's
This
1,
doesn't. Daddy.
2, and 3 characters in this besides Canto.
So, in this one, so this beast that you were just talking about, Dad, up here,
The top one.
you haven't seen him before,
Okay.
but he's very important in these 2 books because he's the one who carries Kanto to the tower to retrieve a heart for the girl. So he's
Gotcha.
very important in that part. And it's very really cool creature because the elf lady, it's her creature. So she says its name in her mind. And she goes like this and then says it. And then it flies over to her. And then she says what she wants it to do with her mind. She's just like, and then he grabs Kanto and takes him up.
Nice.
It's really cool.
I've really enjoyed it. And obviously we've got 2 Cantos over here and 2 over here. And Craig Boer was nice enough to even comment on the post I did recently. And then he and I have been talking a little bit. He's the writer and he's just been really, really nice about maybe getting together at some point for an interview. So hopefully that happens because I do think this is one of the more original indies that I've read last year. So definitely a good read. And the trade is coming soon. Uh-oh. Discovery says the girls are up and I'm in social media lockdown this weekend. Bye, Discovery Bay. See you soon, brother. Yeah, a trade is what you call these graphic novels. A trade paperback. It's
when you
got
have
a
them
lot
all
of
together,
issues.
yeah.
So the one for Canto is coming in March, and it'll have the first 6 issues, and then they drop issue 7 or 8. I think it's coming in June or July.
I can't wait that long.
No. But I'll put it on the pull list, and then we can get it each month it comes out.
What book?
Canto. Okay. All right. You're up. Second book from Kate is. You guys love this one. I think we've reviewed it, but it's been a long time since we reviewed this.
Mhm.
Franklin Richards, A Fantastic Year. With that like classic photo cover with the photo background. But it's a almost Calvin and Hobbes like style of art showing the life of Franklin Richards in the Baxter Building.
And he has like a robot nanny.
Franklin Richards, son of geniuses. You girls love this book. You've talked about it a bunch. What do you like about it? Oh no, pages are coming out. We'll have to find another one.
Well, that's Dr. Doom.
That little Victor.
Yeah.
Victor Von Doom here. He's the little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Look, see, the great legend. He is a big Fantastic Four fan. So he's like, yeah, Franklin. And thanks to Big Will, I have the first appearance of Franklin Richards. I have that in a slab. The first.
Wait, when he's born? Or
yeah, the issue where he was born.
Isn't that like 186 or 2 something?
I'm sure the great legend will know the exact issue number in just a second here. Sorry. Let's
It's
see.
in the hundreds. It's one of the
Yeah,
hundreds.
it was a while after they got started, but it's also the first
think it's
appearance
200.
of Annihilus, who is like an important villain in the Fantastic Four universe
Oh,
and in the Marvel
Annihilus?
universe. Let's be
Annihilus
honest,
or like-
it's
with
pronounced
the-
Annihilus because it's the short version of annihilation, which means the destruction.
Oh, okay.
No. So, what do you like about this, though? What do you like about Franklin?
Well, it's very funny. And
Sure.
so like this one, he's getting attacked by basketballs that can talk.
No, sentient basketballs.
Yeah, and then on this one, his chores are clean up after yourself, and he puts half the mountain back on top of the mountain.
That's a big
put
cleanup
away-
job.
Yeah, put away your toys.
There it is. He's saying it's annual Fantastic Four annual number 6.
Oof, I was way off. And then, like, there's one where they're doing April Fools. That one's funny.
April Fools.
Yeah, they're good at April Fools.
You just like seeing the fun family stuff that goes on in the Baxter Building with the Fantastic Four, but specifically with the kids.
I'm gonna find it. Oh, here. So, he makes his dad investigate this. You know, like the microscope with the expo markers where you like put it on your eyes. That old trick.
That old trick where you
Yeah.
draw a little pen on the
And then-
viewers.
Yeah, and then he's like reads like that child needs to be taught a lesson. Can you get me a washcloth? And then Johnny's like, go easy on the kid, Reed. He's just having a little fun. When I was his age, he opens it and the pie.
Oh, and he
hits
gets
him
a
in the
pie, and
face.
then Johnny Storm gets a pie in the face.
And he's like, let's get the little maniac. And then he drops water on his robot nanny,
Oh
and
no!
he breaks it. But then he comes around and he's like, April Fools, and it's not actually him.
Oh,
It's a fake one. And he's like, I hope you learned your lesson, Franklin. Oh yeah, I learned my lesson. You guys are in trouble next April Fool's Day.
ah!
And then,
so
like,
it's April
it's
Fool. Ooh,
a
tiny Dr. Doom, little Dr. Doom. He's so tiny. That's cuter than Baby Yoda, in my opinion.
No.
Tiny Dr. Doom.
Stop it. Nothing's cuter than Baby Yoda.
Actually, there's when I drive to my school on the bus, there is a little high schoolers like to paint on the dumpsters and buildings,
Oh, geez.
and there is like this place where they painted on wood,
Okay.
and it's these flowers with butterflies and bees and all these animals. And at one point, on one of the flowers in the front, it's not a butterfly there; it's Baby Yoda hiding in the
goodness.
flower.
No, you have to show me that.
It's the
Where
cutest
is that,
thing.
Charlie?
So as far as I understand it, I believe it was Chaos and Comics is asking. It's called A Fantastic Year. Franklin Richards. I believe it's just a one-off. I don't think it's anything that had like a full series. But if anybody knows any different, you can let us know in the chat. It's just a bunch of short stories centered around a young Franklin Richards in the Baxter Building. Boo, Mandalorian. Boo. Nothing is cuter than Baby Yoda. Kate says hello. Hi, Cade.
Hi.
Baby Godzilla Borinquen. I saw that post. That was funny. Patrick Wall, I am boxing up your gift. Oops, that was not you. There you are. I've got your box, and I'm going to try to get to the post office today and send a whole bunch of stuff. So I will send you the tracking information for that. You are one of the people. You and JP Tacoma, Jim Boatwright, and Old Wolf. I'm going to try to get all that stuff out today. Finally, it only took me 6 months. Pathetic, but hey, what are you gonna do? Z collects. Buenos dias. ¿Qué pasa? Downright Nerdy Podcast. Who's Downright Nerdy Podcast? Who's Downright Nerdy Podcast? Riley and Michael. Good morning. Yes, you, JP. I got your stuff finally packaged up and ready to send out. Baby Wookie would be cuter, says Chaos and Comics. That's hilarious.
Yes.
Too much fun.
I think porgs were cute, but then I saw Yoda, and I was like obsessed.
Yeah.
There's a girl. Yeah, there's a girl at my school who got a Baby Yoda pop socket that's adorable for her phone,
Nice.
and she got a cup that says the child on the side, and it has a little Baby Yoda on it.
Nice.
So cute.
So let's see. My second book is going to be a DC book. I got the Black Label issue 2 of The Question. This is wackadoo. It was not a whole lot like the first book, so I got to reread the first book to see how it connects to this one, because this is a trip. It's like a cowboy story. Almost the whole thing is in the Old West with like Victor Zsasz from the Batman universe. This is a wackadoo issue. So I got to reread issue 1 just to see like what is going on with this, because issue 1 was so good. Issue 2, I'm like, did I read a different comics? I'm lost here a little bit. Good morning, Drew Manchu, baby. He's in the chat. Ooh, the great legend is enjoying The Question as well. I will say the art by Sienkiewicz, not sure how you want to say it, is amazing. The story lost me a little bit on this second issue. I loved the first issue. I thought the first issue was great. So I'm hopeful that this is a setup and the third issue is going to knock it all down. Yeah, I loved issue 1 too, Kirk. I just felt like, wait, what's going on? The second issue is wackadoo. Yes, the most children friendly. Yes, Victor Zsasz, says Fire Guy Ryan. Hilarious. Perry Comics is in the chat. Good morning, Lurker. How you doing? Are you lurking tonight, Perry? I don't know what's going on with your channel tonight. I know you're probably on Coast to Coast with Rod.
Is he actually the most child-friendly of Batman villains?
No. Victor Zsasz is a pretty scary bad guy.
What does he do?
He's called Victor Zsasz. He doesn't have like any other name.
Does he have powers?
No, he's just a bad guy.
Like the Joker?
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to describe it.
Signature smile or something?
I don't know. Say hi to the mother-in-law. Oh, Rod's mother-in-law is watching. Good morning. All right, Charlie, last book. We got to start winding this down here. This was also from Spidey Fan in the box where he sent a few things. He included some Lumberjanes comics for Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Tacoma Comics, I know you're a big Lumberjanes fan, and he gave us some of our first Lumberjane books. This is issue 53. What did you think? Deep. Got a deep review here.
I thought it was very funny, and it's more that they find this map that they apparently have had for a while.
Like a treasure map kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a treasure map. And they go, and by the way, hello, good morning. And they try to look for the treasure, but every time they find treasure, it's not really treasure, it's pieces of a statue.
Mm.
And then at the end,
So they want gold, but they're finding statue pieces.
And then they put the statue together, and it turns into her.
It turns into a person. Okay, let's see here. Ooh.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
And then she's a goddess. She's a goddess. And they go to another goddess that they met, and they said, "Do you have a name, Rock Lady?" And she says, "Yes, Artemis Traumatikos." And then she has like this creepy face, and then she's holding on to Ripley in a weird way. And then she goes poof, and Ripley's gone, but so is she.
My mouse is not working.
You have to push on the hide.
I did it. It's not working.
And that means we have to turn it off soon, right?
I can still type in the chat, I believe, but I can't click off of Biggie's comment, and I can't get to the next comment. Let me see. I go down. Nope, it can't seem to go down.
Click tab.
Circle up there.
Now it's doing it. Boy,
See, I
like
told
it
you.
blipped out. I think we were maybe our internet crunked on us. So hopefully everybody still sees us. Hopefully we're not all crashing on us. Hopefully you guys
Can you see
can
me?
hear us talking. All right, so sorry, the Lumberjanes. Go back to what we were doing. Lumberjanes. Wow.
Okay. So she says, "I Artemis. My name is
Traumaticos.
Spanish."
No, it sounds Greek. Traumaticos.
And the girl spits out her gum. And she's this girl, the rock lady, she's holding on to Ripley by his shoulders. But then when she says her name, it goes poof and she disappears. And it says, "What the junk was that? Where is she? Did she leave?" "Yeah, she's gone." "Who was that? Another goddess?" "You don't know? You brought that thing here and you don't know?" "So tell us." "Hold on. Where's Ripley?" And then Ripley, the girl, is gone. Just the goddess. I don't know where he is.
Oh, there's also Funk Comics as well.
Oh, R.A. Random Roll from
Yep, Rena's in the
Comics.
chat.
The Great Legend.
Ooh, Southern Comic Geek is getting some Kanto books off of eBay. Good for you,
Southern
brother.
Comic Geek. Super
And-
Rush. Joe
Ruiz. I've been in 2 streams in a row where John hasn't mentioned, and he didn't say it, whatever it is I haven't mentioned. Lost, probably Lost.
Oh, we need to get this started. So
But next week I'll be doing the big final episode of that, so be ready. Marquise, I think it's Marcus actually. I think it's Marcus Roberts. Hello, Marcus. Good morning. TJ says, "You're all good. You can go back to ignoring me." TJ, I'm on again tonight on my channel, so I'll get to that in a moment. Last book from Kate.
No, I still have one more book.
I don't think we have time for it. Kate's doing another Archie's Double Digest.
Yep. And in this one, it
Digest.
has a bunch of different ones, but my favorite one, it just because of the color. There is one where so most Archie comics are like super duper colorful. But I like this one because the colors blend well. You can't see it, but like there's pink in it and stuff. And it just looks super
Oh, just the
good.
way they do the
brown
font
and
and the
stuff.
writing. Oh, and the costumes. Mhm.
The colors and stuff.
Mhm.
I really like that.
Nice.
But also at the end, there's a book we have to get. There's a book that's advertised, and it says it's Sabrina the Teenage Witch: The Magic Within.
Oh yeah.
And there's like a sneak peek, and it looks so good. It's like anime style, I guess, or manga. I'm not sure which one. I can't tell the difference. I'm sorry. But like, look, this is what it looks like.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yeah, it's a manga style. You're right.
It looks interesting.
Did
That's
you know
the
that
first
manga
one.
books, because they're usually made in the Japan or China, they read backwards. You start at the
Oh,
back
yeah,
and you
I
flip.
know.
You turn the pages the other way.
Yeah.
That's how usually how you
Right.
know.
Can I have the
Left
double
to right.
digest? Can I
They
have
write
double
right to
digest?
left, don't they?
Ours has a very recognizable style. Don't be a mean dad. You'll be replaced by a Lego. All right, my final book is Valkyrie, issue 7. This is for Kirk in the chat. He's a big Valkyrie fan like me. I will say, not to be a downer completely, but this was probably my least favorite of all 7 issues they've published. And I was kind of bummed it's the end of Al Ewing on this title. So if you don't know, Valkyrie issues 1 through 7 are written by Jason Aaron, who kind of, shepherded Jane Foster as a Thor and a Valkyrie, and Al Ewing, who did the Immortal Hulk run. They were writing it together, and now Al Ewing is moving on to Guardians of the Galaxy starting on Wednesday of this coming week. And so this was his final issue working with Jason Aaron. Jason Aaron's going to continue on, I guess. So I was a little bummed. It ended on kind of a flat note for me. So I will say that was a bit of a bummer. I loved the first 5 issues were perfect. Just a really, really, really great read. Those first 5 issues were amazing. The second story was really issues 6 and 7, and I was like, it was all right. But issues 1 through 5, if you get a chance to get those or read those, it's a great read. Can't wait to see John tonight. I'm very sorry that I didn't drop a review video this week. It was just crazy. I could not get to it. I'm very sorry, but I got a show tonight. I'm on Big Will's channel tomorrow. So tonight at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, I'm going to be doing a top 5 list that is right up the Life with Two YouTubers channel. They're right up their alley. We're going to be doing that top action movies from the 1980s. And Kate's going to get her face right in there for everybody to stare at.
I want to see that.
You want to see her emojis? It looks very Harry Potter-esque. I see wizards and robots, though. And then I see and detectives and all kinds of things. Okay, your head is kind of like just taking over the show. Can we
Yes, it is.
back off a little bit there? Let's come and sit down. All right. So tonight is top 5 80s action movies. You will definitely want to come by and enjoy that. Fire Guy Ryan decided to skip this one. He's like, you know what? I'm not a big action fan. He's going to do the top 5 80s science fiction movies. That's going to be next weekend. So be ready. We got a lot of good 80s talk tonight and next Saturday. So we will definitely be doing some good chat about those things. Tomorrow, I'm on Big Will's channel in the evening. I'm sure I'll be posting it on my Instagram, but it's a discussion about comic books and the value for readers, especially for challenged readers who might not normally pick up a book to read. The pictures might be something valuable to them. So we'll be talking a little bit about education and classrooms and comic books. So that'll be on Big Will's channel tomorrow. And I'm hoping to do some other fun stuff on Monday because we are off. And I'm going to shoot some video. I'm going to hopefully make some character videos and things like that and get some things ready and mail some giveaways that I finally got around to giving away. Lots of good stuff going on. Jean-Claude better make the list as Patrick Wall. And I don't know that he's going to make my top 5. He might crack the top 10. There was some good stuff from him in the 80s. Bloodsport's a great one. But you'll have to see. I haven't even actually finalized my list. I will say the top 3 have probably never changed since I was a kid. So the top 3 will always be the top 3. But what those other 2 will be, that's where it gets exciting. I'm known for my hot takes, hot picks. So we'll have to see. Plus, I got Hialeah, Comic Bro, Comic Head 84, both joining me to talk good 80s action movies. So enjoy that. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you all get some extra 3-day weekends. I know Fire Guy Ryan's like, I'm glad I'm not in this top 5, but he's excited for the science fiction because he is a sci-fi fan. And we'll eventually get to 80s horror. I think that's going to be coming up as well. So we're trying to do the 80s in a few different sets before we move on to the 90s. And then we can retire Hialeah Comic Bro and get somebody else a chance to talk about the 90s.
John initiating dad mode.
Robot John taking over.
And then I don't have IG fan. Sadness.
Trust me, Marcus, if you did, you'd be using it a lot. 80s horror sucks too. Oh man, says Fire Guy Ryan. There's good stuff to be found in there, brother. There's good stuff. You got to dig a little, scratch a little deeper, get under the surface. Kate, you should poke your dad, says Rena. Ow, don't poke me. Stay on your side. You're on my side.
What?
Nothing. All right, everybody. You have a great weekend. Did you already do the 50s? Pop wants me to go old school. We started with the 70s because that's when most of the people watching my channel came about. So we did 70s, 80s, and 90s. I don't think we're going to do the 2000s anytime soon because it's still too recent. So it might be time to go back and do some of those 40s, 50s, 60s catch up a little bit.
My mom's like, "You're
But we did it. We did a 70s show, and I thought it was a great discussion topic. So if you want, you can find that in the playlists under top 5. You can find the top 5 films from the 70s that Ryan and myself and Hialeah, I think it was one of the best top 5s we've done. A lot of good stuff. Oh, Riley is going to go read more Canto today. We recommend it. I hope she really enjoys it. It's a great read. Everybody have a great weekend. I hope you all have a great time. And I will see you all again this evening. See you in the chats too, I'm sure. Bye, everybody.